Saturday, October 14th, Top Rank's having a card. It's going to be Janibek versus Vincenzo Gualtieri. It's going to be a unification bout for the WBO and IBF middleweight titles. And that's a nice little card. We're going to go over the main event, the co-main, and a few of these prelim fights. So let's go. First off, we got Janibek. He's 14-0 with 9 wins by knockout, 30 years old, 5'11", 71.5-inch reach. He's from Kazakhstan. He's coming over that win over Stephen Butler, where he didn't play with a suit, moved forward, dictated the pace, and made it a short night. Was able to knock him out in 2 rounds. And he's coming to fight Vincenzo Gualtieri. He's going to be 21-0 with 1 draw and 7 wins by knockout. He's coming over that win over Falcao, where he looked good. He was able to drop him twice. He was able to outbox him in certain spots, counterpunch him, you know what I mean, off the ropes, you know what I mean? And overall, he just looked pretty good. He was able to win the title, and I was surprised. A lot of people were big on Falcao. And, you know, now he gets this unification bout versus Janibek. But unfortunately, I think that Janibek is going to whoop his ass. Janibek is pretty good. I haven't seen anything from him that will lead me to believe that he is going to lose this fight. And, you know, he is a top-ranked product. Top Rank is very good about putting their champions in certain spots and trying to move people that they like a certain way. And I think that's the case here. I don't think that they will put him in there with anybody that could beat him at this particular time. And this is a pretty good unification bout for him. I know he's been wanting to unify, and this is a pretty sweet one. So I do think Janibek is going to stop him late. I think in between 9 and 12, this is an undefeated fighter that he's fighting. This ain't no bitch. I think that he's going to be in there to win, but I do think that Janibek does get the job done. Next fight, we've got Keyshawn Davis fighting Nahir Albright. Keyshawn Davis is 9-0 with 6 wins by knockout. He's a silver medalist from the 2021 Olympics. He's 24 years old, 5'9", with a 70-inch reach. He's come over that win over Francesco Patera, where I thought he looked pretty good. I thought that he could have looked a little better, though. I thought that maybe he could have knocked him out. Patera is strong, you know what I mean? He is tough. But other than not knocking him out, I thought that he looked really good. I thought that he dictated the pace. I thought that he was able to work his jab, you know, land punches. He's always had good punch selection. And I thought that overall it was a really good learning experience. It was a really good building fight for him. He's fighting Nahir Albright. Nahir is coming off of that upset win over Carlos Balderas, where, you know, he was able to land the jab, you know, work the jab. He was able to counterpunch, outbox Carlos, and win that majority decision. I do think that it was a close fight. A lot of the rounds were close. But I also think that he did earn that victory. And that's a very good win for him, and it earned him the spot to fight Keyshawn Davis. Unfortunately, I think Keyshawn Davis is going to do what Keyshawn Davis does. He's going to go in there, he's going to outbox, he's going to dictate the pace, he's going to land the punches that he wants to land, and he's going to make it a rough night for Nahir. Nahir not no bitch. He can definitely box, he definitely has a good jab, but I just think that Keyshawn is going to be able to go in there and get the job done and handle him pretty easily. I'm thinking stoppage, but I'm not sure. I will lean UD because, you know, Keyshawn is coming off of UD, but, you know, I would like the stoppage. Next, we got Torrez Jr. He's 6-0 with 6 wins by knockout, 6'2", 24 years old. Reach isn't here, and he's also a silver medalist. Yeah, so we got some medalists on this card. He's coming over that win over Willie Jake Jr., knockout in the first round, where, you know, he went in there and he ate good. He knocked them out. He's been knocking people out a lot. You know what I mean? All his wins are by knockout, and he seems like he has a lot of power. He's got the power. He gets a little wild at times, but he does have that boxing pedigree in the background, and so you can definitely see that. And I just think that he's going to be a really big factor in the heavyweight division. I think that he has a lot to work on, but I think that he won't be able to do what he needs to do. And we got him fighting Tyrell Anthony Herndon. You know, 24-4. Oh, I'm bad. 21-4 with 14 wins by knockout. 36 years old, 6'3". He's coming over that win over John Cortez. I did see a little bit of it, didn't see it live, but you know, 15-11 fighter. He did what he was supposed to do, but I don't think he's going to have the same success with Richard. I think he's going to go in there and get knocked out. No disrespect to him, but that's just how I see it going. Top Rank is very good at building their prospects, and I think that's what's going to happen. Speaking of prospects, we have another silver medalist in Duke Ragan. He's 8-0 with 1 win by knockout, 26 years old, 5'5". And yeah, so he's coming over that win over Luis LeBron, where he looked good. Thought he could have looked better. Definitely thought he could have looked better, but he did look good. I was a little worried in spots in that fight. He was getting hit with some shit that I didn't like, but overall, I think he's a very great fighter. I think he's got a great jab when he uses it. I think he's very good at hitting angles. I think he's very good at setting the pace and getting out of the way of shots most of the time. So I think that Duke Ragan is going to be able to go in there and do what he got to do. But he is fighting Jose Perez. Jose Perez is 11-1 with 2 draws. He's got 5 wins by knockout. He's 27 years old, 5'9", reach isn't available. And yeah, he's got some exhibition fights in here. He's coming over that knockout over Angel Luna. And so yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I think we all know what's gonna happen here. He's gonna go in there and get outboxed. And yeah, it's gonna be a good night for Duke. I don't think he has any power that could, really bother him. You know what I mean? So, even though I didn't like what I saw in that last fight, I still think that he's going to be able to go in there and dictate the pace and outbox and cruise to a UD. And the last fight we're going to be breaking down is Guido Vianello versus Curtis Harper. So he's 10-1 with 1 draw. He's got 10 wins by knockout, 29 years old, 6'6", 79-inch reach. He's coming off of that loss to Johnny Rice, where he looked like shit. Johnny Rice was able to put the jab in his face, dictate the pace, outbox him, comfortably. They tried to, rob him of that victory because there was a little cut, and they tried to say it was a headbutt and all that shit, but they got it right, and Johnny Rice was able to get the stoppage win over him. And he's fighting Curtis Harper. Curtis Harper's 14-9. He's lost to a lot of people, but they are names that we recognize. He's never in there to just lay down, except for that one time where he walked out the ring. But other than that, he's usually in there to fight. 35 years old, 6'2", and yeah, he's coming off of that knockout loss to Damian Nibba, where it did look like maybe he could have done something in there, but he didn't do nothing in there, and he got stopped late. And yeah, I think this is gonna be food for Guido. I think that Top Rank knows what they're doing. I think that Top Rank is trying to put him back on track by giving him somebody that he can beat, and I think that's what's gonna happen. Guido, he's got power. He's a presence in there. He's definitely a big dude. So I think he's gonna go in there and impose his size, even though he's not that great. He can be outboxed. He throws wide, fat punches. His chin's exposed. I still think that he's going to have enough to beat Curtis Harper. And, yeah, the rest of these fights, not too familiar with a lot of these guys, but we've got some undefeated prospects on here. And it looks like it's going to be a good fight. So I hope that y'all tune in, and thank you for watching.